Alrighty, so this problem reads, the scale on the image to the left reads 1 centimeter for every 100 meters. If the scale image of the Great Pyramid is 1.5 centimeters, how tall is the actual height? Okay, so the first thing we know is that this scaled image is 1.5 centimeters. And we need to figure out in the actual image that was built, how tall is the actual Great Pyramid? So I have a couple pieces of information here. I know that my scale is given to me and says that 1 centimeter is equal to 100 meters. So we talked about scale drawings today. We know that every time in my scaled image I see 1 centimeter, it represents 100 meters in real life. Okay, so I need to figure out if my scaled image is 1.5 centimeters, how many meters is that? Okay, so we have two ways to do this. I will go through both of them. Your first is to find your scale factor vertically. So if I want to figure out what takes me from 1 centimeter to 1.5 centimeters, draw your arrows. And just like we talked about when we did scale drawings, take the end of your arrow divided by the start of your arrow. So you would do 1.5 divided by 1, and that's going to give you 1.5. So my scale factor going vertically is 1.5. So then I'm going to do the same thing in this direction. If I'm scaling up, right, 1 is smaller than 1.5. So if I need to make 100 bigger to match, I'm going to take my scale factor that I found and do 100 meters times 1.5. So if you need to use your calculators, go ahead. If you want to try to practice doing this in your head, 1 times 100 is 100. Half of 100 is 50. So then if I add those together, 100 times 1.5 is 150. Okay, so that tells me that the Great Pyramid is 150 meters. The other way we can go about doing this is by finding our scale factors horizontally. So instead of going from top to bottom, I can find my scale factor going from 1 centimeter to 100 meters. Okay, so again, draw your arrow because our process is always to take the end of the arrow divided by the beginning of the arrow. So if I want to find my scale factor going from left to right, I would kind of do the same thing, but this time I'm going to take 100 divided by 1, and that's going to give me 100. So that means my centimeters get multiplied by 100 to give me my meters. So I would do the same thing going in this direction. My scale factor green tells me to take my centimeters. If I multiply them by 100, it's going to give me my meters. So then I would end up really doing the same work that I just did. 1.5 times 100 is equal to 150. Okay, so you can see we end up with the same thing.